Hey guys, NanMan here. We're going to be doing another Hearthstone video today. As you can see, we've already jumped into the home screen. We've got some new quests for today, some pretty cool ones. You know, deal some damage, win some games with any class, and then our Druid Hunter one, which I think we might keep. We're not going to showcase off the Druid or the Hunter deck today. We're actually going to be showcasing off my new Warlock deck. If you guys are familiar with Team Liquid, which you probably should be if you've seen any of my StarCraft videos. The writers for their Hearthstone group just released the power rank for January, and they basically rank through all the different hero classes and kind of go off. All right, you know what? Seeing the top tier level players, seeing the top tier decks, engaging how things are looking on the ladder right now. How are the decks performing? Since there are still weekly tournaments, and that's another good way to gauge things. So that, you know, they gauge things up, check things out after the most recent couple of patches, and, you know, rank a lot of the decks up. So I'll link that post down below if you guys wanted to check that out if you missed it for whatever reason. It did just come out like a few days ago, so be sure to check that out. And Warlock has been able to jump up to #1 spot since last time, and a lot of that is because of the versatility with the Warlock deck. You have a lot of different options you can do with it. You know, there's 4 different main components of the decks that we're seeing, like Giants, which kind of goes similar to the one-turn kill warrior deck, where it's like, all right, I want to lose all this life and then pop out some crazy Giants and, you know, do some good damage there. But I've made the aggro style, like there's just regular aggro, Leopard Gnomes and Leroy Jenkins, stuff like that. But I'm doing the more fun style, I think, that a lot of people hate. Can you guess which aggro style it is? I'll pull it up for you. You'll see. It's gonna be good stuff. We're rocking out the Murloc style of play here. Murloc 1, relatively cheap to be able to throw up. There's still a few more cards that I need to pick up for it, but after I crafted a lot of the stuff that I needed, you know, we're looking pretty good with the deck style. I would love to get another Cold Light Seer. I don't remember how much dust that one costs here, but let's see. Cold Light Seer. Only 20 dust. Or 100 dust, I mean. Only costs 100 dust. So I'll have to craft another one of those relatively soon. So we're going to go over the deck here. The whole purpose of this deck is aggro. Drop down a bunch of these low drops. Like if we look at the curve of it, we have 14 1-drops in this deck. You know, a lot of 2 and 3 drops as well. And then as it gets a little bit further up, there's not as many as you can see. We are rocking Power Overwhelming, give a friendly minion +4/+4 until the end of the turn, then it dies horribly. So it's basically drop down some creatures, pump them up, attack in. Alright, they die, but that's okay. Blood Imp, so good, giving all of our creatures more health. Flame Imp we're running. You know, it's a 1-drop, deal 3 damage to myself, which doesn't really matter. I want to get out there and start doing damage right away, so we have him thrown into the mix. I've also got some, you know, some of the main Murloc stuff here, which we'll talk a little bit more about the other Murlocs. I want to tell you about the other cards in it besides Murlocs right now. Leopard Gnome running 2/2/1, pretty much becomes a 2/2 with the Blood Imp, and then we can just sit there, be aggressive with it, or just having it deal 2 damage when it dies is perfectly fine to us, because, you know, having that extra damage with the aggro style is really, really good. Then we have 1 Youthful Brewmaster right now that we're running. This has helped us out quite a bit, actually. You get to return 1 of your friendly creatures. So because we're running like the Murloc Tidehunter, you know, pops down, summons more guys. We're also running Shattered Sun Cleric, running 2 of those. Give a friendly minion +1/+1. We can return those. And then like the Cold Light Seer, give all other Murlocs +2 health when it enters the battlefield. So having this interaction to do those enter battlefield effects is actually really, really important. So we're running 1 of those right now. I had 2 in there, but I've been tweaking it a little bit more and trying to see how things are looking with it. And the highest costing Murloc we have is a 4-drop old Murkai, and you guys might be looking through your cards and being like, I don't see him under the 4-drop for crafting. How do I get this guy? Well, if you craft or have all the other Murlocs, so if you get one of these Murloc War Leaders, all the Murlocs have +2/+1, one Cold Light Seer, one Cold Light Oracle, the Murloc Tidecaller. I think those are the only ones you need to craft. Everything else, like these, you start with. This you start with. Yeah, so those are the only ones you need to craft. Once you craft those, they give you this for having all the other Murlocs. Here you go. But it's such a strong card. It's a 4-drop, 2/4, has +1 attack for each other Murloc in the battlefield. It has charge. So, you know, if I've dropped down all of my Murloc Tidehunters and have some other awesome guys out there, this guy can get very scary very quickly. You know, I've been able to combo him with Power Overwhelming and swing in for 10 as soon as he hits the field there, so that's really exciting to see his interaction. Sadly, you can only have one. You know, it is legendary. That's the restriction, only one of. And then I've seen different variations of the deck list. Like, this is just my version. There's lots of different variations of it out there. Some use Lord Jaraxxus, which I do not have at my disposal. So I've thrown in Ragnaros, the Fire Lord here, as my kind of, well, if it gets to the late game and struggling now, I at least have maybe a small chance to be able to come back and just kill you with just one throw from Ragnaros here. The little bit of board control that I have that helps out very well against the taunt decks, Siphon Soul. Running 2 of destroy minion, restore 3 health to your hero. This has worked out really well. Like, there's other variations that I've seen of it. Like, some people are using like Mortal Coils and Soulfire's Corruptions. You know, a little bit more help with it. Shadow Bolt. I've seen some Shadow Bolt users out there. But no, this is what we're rocking right now with this variation here. I've also seen, you know, Shadow Flame using this sort of style too, but for this is the version we're rocking, and I would like to show you guys some of the games with it real quick. We'll just do a casual here. Like I said, we're not going to be doing ranked right away. I'm going to do a little bit less games this time. It is quicker, but I know the mage one is a little bit overwhelming. The video I just put out was like 50 minutes long because I showcased the deck and then I did 3 matches. So I'm going to showcase the deck here, and I'm going to do maybe 1 or 2 matches just to give you an idea of how this deck plays. If you like aggressive decks, this is definitely one to consider. And that's what's great with Hearthstone, is having the ability to be like, well, a lot of these cards can work in other decks. Why not keep some of the Warlock cards that I'm getting from arenas, from boosters, and, you know, maybe build up a deck. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of different variations. And of course, I play against my most hated matchup. Alright, so what we got here, we don't really care about having the Murloc ready. Yes, 1-drop Murloc is great, but it doesn't really help us too much. It's just 2/1. Maybe we can try to get an Imp out if we replace it. I'm happy with having the Leper Gnome. I'm happy having this 2-drop Bluegill here, so we're going to replace that. Okay, and yeah, just a 3-drop Murloc War Leader. I'm cool with that too. Another thing with the Warlock deck is it's perfectly fine to be able to use your life tap as much as you want. You normally shouldn't have any issue in that regard. So we're going to see what he does. He does start with the coin, and looks like he's not going to worry too much about that. I think we're going to Bluegill this time and attack for 4. Or we have the option to life tap instead, but I think we're just gonna. And also by doing this, it kind of reveals, hey, we're playing a Murloc deck. Surprise! Get ready for some swarming. I always like this one. I also like the Pandera one as the board. And so yeah, he uses the coin right away. When this minion takes damage, draw a card. Okay, cool. Alright, so now we have some options. We're still not getting the Imp out. So what I'm feeling like is throwing down all the Murlocs have +2/+1. Yes, we only have one Murloc here right now, but helps protect him from the Acolyte of Pain attacking in and stuff like that. So we're going to throw him down. And then we're just going to ignore his creature altogether. Discharge in. And, you know, a lot of the priest deck are running like a destroy target creature with 3 or less attack, so he could very easily use that and kill off my Murloc War Leader, which would suck, but, you know, we have some options still here. Okay. Drawing some cards, getting Divine Shield, helping to give himself some defense, getting some drawing out of it. I like it. Okay, this is going to be a problem now. So he gets to draw a card off of that. He loses 2 life, but he will be able to start healing himself. So we're going to have to put a stop to that. We will play our Blood Imp, make everybody stronger. We're going to charge, and we're going to give all of our Murlocs +1. But you might be like, why are you doing all this swarming? Because this is what this deck does. We're dropping it down, basically giving ourselves, like, okay, leaving ourselves very vulnerable to AoE damage, but if he doesn't have it, we win. With all the damage that we've got available to us right now, a lot of these guys have a lot of health now. We're looking in a very good position. I mean, it's turn 4, or, you know, about to be turn 5 here. And so, yeah, now he's going to use that to destroy this, making everything else at least weaker. And it looks like he will kill off both of my power-up guys, which is fine. I mean, that's a really smart way to do it. Only giving my guys 2/2. Takes a damage, draws a card, weakens him off. And now we have to see what we get. I do like having this draw pit power, but for the fact that we can't kill him this turn, I think I'm gonna pump up one of my guys, lose some life. Okay, yeah. And so next turn we could very easily play this, see what we can draw out of it. I mean, he's already drawn a lot of cards. I chose not to give him some extra advantage, maybe some chances to get AoE so we can try to be able to win. But yeah, now we've gotten our Siphon Soul. And actually it timed out very nicely, where we're pretty much rounding out about 6 mana, right when we might possibly need the Siphon Soul. And it looks like he will copy both the cards, and now he gets to see exactly what I have in hand and be like, oh, good to know. Now I know what I'm facing, kind of thing. So we'll see what he decides next. Double Minion's Hell. Okay. Trades it off, draws a card, but I still have enough to kill him. And yeah, there he goes. You have bested me. So that's, you know, very, very different from the mage deck that you guys saw earlier. Much quicker, much more aggressive, much more in your face, and not as sit back, late game burninating like the mage deck is. So we're going to do like one more, test it out, see how we do. But yeah, that was how it worked against Priest deck. It worked out really well with some of our draws that we got. Got to throw down a lot of stuff. For the decks that I've played so far, most of them aren't using as much AoE, but I've had the biggest problem with Druid decks. You know, swipes and this and that kind of thing. Having that AoE damage, it makes it very, very difficult to deal with a Druid deck. Or at least some variations of the Druid deck. So I'm still trying to tweak it and try to find that niche that'll really make it work better. Like I said, we're still missing that one card and another priest. Alright. Again, don't care as much about having him here. There we go. That's much better. That's what I like to see. And we get the coin. Alright. So that works out pretty well. So I greet you. And also by showing these imps at the start, it doesn't really show, oh look, I'm playing Murlocs. It's just showing, oh, I'm an aggressive player. Here's the stuff I'm dropping down initially. And Knife Juggler is a really tough thing for me to deal with as well. so decisions. I'm debating just trading it off at this point. Because I don't want him to get out of control. Alright, we're going to play risky this time. And we're not going to trade it off. We're going to do the 3 damage. Now this could be bad because whatever creature he plays could very easily kill off my Blood Imp.
Let the pain speak to me.
No, okay. So that worked out well for us. So he's going to do some 3 damage to us. So we're going to Leper Gnome. We're going to trade. And we're going to draw a card off of it. Alright, so we're starting to build up the next little bit of swarmage that we've got. Murloc Tidecaller. It's a 1-drop. Whenever we summon another Murloc, he gains more attack. Works out very well with the Blood Imp, and that does cause us some problems. That will cause some problems. So let's see what we can do about this. What to do. We still have the coin option available to us. We could coin into our Brewmaster, or we could coin into the Tide Hunter. We can't, I mean, we could attack into his Shield Master, which I think would be silly at this point. He'll just heal it up, so Decisions. I think we do have to coin into some more Murlocs. I don't think we want to trade this off here. Alright, we're just going to stop now. So basically I gave the option, you know, if he wants to kill this off, he can, but it would be a trade now. Assuming he doesn't buff up its defense and do stuff like that. And plus, this is really, really risky and kind of dumb of me to do this, is leave myself very, very vulnerable to board wipes. Alright, so he kills that off, which is fine. He'll draw a card, lose 2 life. Okay, yeah, so he's gonna give himself some more life, be able to trade and come out on top, and then heal his guy still. Oh. Never mind, now it's even worse. He could just start swinging in at me if he wanted to. Alright, so we can heal, but at least we have our Murloc War Leader now, and that was great. So it drops down Northshire Cleric. Whenever a minion's healed, he draws a card, heals this back up to 4, and looks pretty good in that regard. But we're still okay. And now we have these 2 options here. I think we will put our Shattered Sun Cleric out.
I don't have enough mana.
Oh, it's 3 now, not 2. Right. I will draw a card. Kill that off. Alright, so we're looking at a good spot. Give all other Murlocs +2 health. That'll help out very well next turn. Give everything all the health. And yeah, so there's the AoE that we were worried about. We still have a lot of guys left alive though, and that he basically that was what he could do that turn. So we are going to do this into this and to this. And now, you know, we increase everything's health again. So basically, if he has another Holy Nova, it still is not going to be enough damage for him to stay alive. And he basically ends up losing. But then, you know, he's got 7 mana. He still has a lot of options. He could have some taunt creatures that could really hurt us here. So we'll have to wait and see what he plays. Well, very good. Alright, so that worked out pretty well for us. 3 victories with any class. Getting some monies. So, I mean, that was another good showcase there. We did leave ourselves pretty vulnerable to the AoE, but with only being able to do 2 damage, a lot of our stuff has that extra health that it worked out really, really well in that regard. So that was showcasing off the Warlock deck here. Like I said, I have other decks that I want to show you, but I want to try to keep this video a little bit shorter here since the Mage one was so long, and having the Warlock be super, super quick games. Like that one, you know, managed to make it to turn 7. Alright, cool. So a little bit longer than the first one. First one managed like turn 4, turn 5 win. And that's what's so fun about the Murloc Warlock deck. You know, it's really exciting to just kind of get in there, aggro, and have those quick games where I'm so used to playing like the mid-range, late-gamey, control-y games of my Shaman deck, of my Mage deck. So it was fun doing some mix-ups there. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the Murloc deck. If there's any other matches or games that you would like to watch of particular heroes, let me know. I'll try to get some more content up for you guys here. If you want to see my deck list in particular, like I showcased them at the beginning of the videos and stuff, and you want to see it written out, let me know, and I'll post it up for you guys. And every so often I'll do a couple updates and show you some of them. Probably next time I'll do some ranked with the Murloc deck, but I just really wanted to show off just how the style works. Very different from the Burninating Mage deck that I'm running. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching, and I hope to see you guys next game.